spawning in the north of the map in the color blue, we do have SamWise 12 playing as the United States.
His explorer's
going to
name.
crack shot that alligator right away. Going to pick himself up a food treasure, and that sheep going to get off to a nice start with a sheep in base. Going to use that to scout a bit. No pressure. There's no general or explorer or anything like that nearby. Going to get a bit extra scouting done and see what he can find. Will he come across any treasures? Does come across pirates and blowgunners. What is that? 100 coin. I think, Drongo, you will point out that is a pretty good treasure for the United States. Get that Dutch immigrants going. But we'll have to see if that's what Sam has in mind. I think Sam might have a build prepared. We shall see. And we'll have to see if Dutch immigrants is a part of that. And finding another sheep there. His opponent, Ezad. 98, 97. Not sure. Either way, picking up that XP and leaving it till last. Not too problematic to leave it till last, since, of course, no hurry. Going to get that shipment in. It's not going to make any difference there. He also has a sheep scouting and comes across 135 coin himself. So both players finding a coin treasure. In the back there, a tomahawk, I believe.
We see that
Let's see how the stage 1 pans out.
The generals are about to run into each other, but does Ezad spot that there's alligators running behind Lewis? No, he doesn't spot it, but they do spot each other. We've got Anthony Wayne up against Lewis. Oh, we got Lewis Deportail. Do you think I'm pronouncing that correctly? Deportail?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks right. What's the other guy called?
The other guy is called Anthony Wayne. Much easier to say, Anthony Wayne. My money's on Anthony Wayne.
Earlier that we had William Moultrie, and you'll be familiar with the Moultrie's militia card.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, there's a couple of good ones. I think we've got General Custer in there as well.
Yeah, they're all recognizable and historical figures from United States history. French immigrants, though, coming in for Ezad as his first card there. I'm not sure we should be too surprised about it. What we should be surprised, or maybe we shouldn't, I don't know. It's clearly a water deck, though, going with whale oil in there. Has he got the steamer card in? I don't think he has.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't have the steamer upgrade.
Electing not to go with the super powerful steamers, but has naval gunners there. And I wonder if he's going to be going up with Rhode Island and following that up with Maryland. Or Maryland. I don't know. Apparently it's pronounced differently if you're in the United States.
Yes.
But it looks like a naval build, and committing to that somewhat with the cards in his deck there. 100 XP for SamWise and some coin in the south. What's SamWise, though, going to do? 100 food. It's going to be...
For him, it's also going to be the Coureurs de Bois going up with the French immigrants.
But does he have a naval deck? He does. No whale oil, though. Just the bare bones sort of minimum there. And also Dutch immigrants are going to be going with what appears to be that sort of opening that has been identified as good.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess one of the variations that we see is that both players opting for Dutch immigrants in the second age, where last game, in the last series, despite Opti having the Dutch immigrants, he said, you know what, I'm going to send the Spanish immigrants instead. So both players really going to be committing to that same build order here. One of the differences is that with Ezad's deck, he's actually got whale oil in the deck. So going to be curious to see how he can utilize this and whether he does actually utilize it. We've got the age up in queue now, going up with a pretty early age up, the 15 villager age up, which is I've found quite difficult to hit. But now, surprisingly, not moving all of his villagers over to coin. There we go, now all the villagers, and he's going up with Rhode Island. You did call it. So impressive stuff. I'm interested to see it.
Let's explain the cards a bit, shall we? So Rhode Island have the Corliss steam engine, which enables steam power earlier, enables you to build... you can upgrade the trading route to the Iron Horse, the rail track, for free. Both the Stagecoach and the Iron Horse is free there. And it also enables you to train steamers in the Commerce Age, which are a Fortress Age unit. So if you're really looking to play along Age 2, you do get those extra units. You would seriously have to have some Kinesi style, Kinesi length. But that is one of the cards they have. The other makes villagers and fishing boats cheaper. So probably that one, I think, is, there's only sort of 3 trading posts you can kind of get on this map. So and your opponent's guaranteed to have one of them that you can't really contest very easily. So I think going to be looking to perhaps build a dock, perhaps train some villagers, make them cheap with that card. Yeah. So those are the cards he has available. Coureurs de Bois coming out. Is that for a dock, perhaps? Certainly going to shoot those deer back. And chopping, by the looks of it, for 200 wood. So certainly possible. And the Explorer's not looking like he's going to build a trading post. So dock seems to be on the cards. What's his opponent aged up with? That's the other question.
So we've got Pennsylvania going up for SamWise. So one of my favorite things about Rhode Island is definitely I think it's called Slater Textile Mill, or Textile Mill, Slater Island Textile Mill, something like that. But yeah, so Ezad's now reached the second age. We can see it right here, Slater Textile Mill. So reducing the cost of land villages by 40% or 40 food, and then reducing the cost of fishing boats by 20 food. So really, really cool card. That bank wagon going up for Sam. He's also got the outpost
did I get the players the wrong way around?
No, you did not. You did not at all.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, you got it perfectly. But banks going up for both players now, mirroring their builds. Sam going straight for the Philadelphia Convention. So I absolutely love this opening. I believe that this is eventually going to become the meta thing to do. But we'll see, because this is just worth a whole extra bank. Also a fairly aggressive build as well with SamWise. SamWise undoubtedly would have scouted the opening from Ezad, but take a look at what Ezad's doing. He's going for the double dock play with Slater Textile Mill coming in behind this. So not going for 700 wood first, going straight for Slater Textile Mill, and really going greedy. This is peak greed. You thought Kinesi was greed? This is greed, baby. This is hard to pull off, and you need more docks. So you think the more docks you build, the more you're compounding that benefit of that card. So you got to think big here. Might be okay to do this against the United States though, because perhaps not too much pressure coming in, and can play a sort of greedier build. And often in mirrors, it does feel like greed is good. But yeah, 2 fishing boats right off the bat. I mean, they're pretty cheap, 50 wood each. And the villages are cheaper to boot as well. So that seems to be his game plan. Just get as many economic units as possible, probably follow up with 700 wood, and just fuel that economy. Maybe even add a third dock or something like that. Barracks now going down in Ezad's base. However, his opponents, we still went up with Pennsylvania. So I imagine going to be building the church. Pennsylvania pound coming in now, going to get that coin trickle. So how much is that coin trickle? You mentioned earlier the coin trickle. It's about a bank, is that right?
Yeah, it's 2.5 coin per second, and a bank's 2.75, so it's just shy of a bank.
Okay, so a pretty decent amount. So it's essentially, we've got SamWise, who's sitting on 2 banks at the moment, doesn't have the other coin trickle in his deck, the capitalism card, but having the 3, or the French immigrants instead. We've now got his explorer on the south side, spotting this outpost and doing a bit of a search, saying, hold on a minute, you've gone up with Rhode Island, that's not meta, that's not standard.
I want to see this dock, says Lewis de Portail. Where is it? Let me see what you're up to. Yeah, gonna be looking for that dock. He wants to know what's going down.
Something cheeky that you can do on this map, I've actually had an opponent do it to me, is you can place a dock right in the corner here of your opponent's base. So it's yeah, I played against a guy.
They never think to look there if they've not scouted it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I hadn't scouted it, and I'm like, oh, he's not on water. And then his score was just keeping up with me, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? And it turned out he had 2 docks right in the corner underneath my town center, and I was fuming. But it looks like SamWise...
not seeing that today then, but the fishing bid looks like it's coming off. SamWise, though, now has some regulars in his opponent's base there. Is sort of just sieging the market here. They do have extra range though, so regulars maybe good at sniping villages. They that extra range is going to sort of be useful there. There's a tomahawk, certainly going to pick that up.
That's definitely one of the things I've noticed. The regular is wonderful at sniping villages. You do need those 7 regulars to be able to get the one shot in, so quite key. But with your opponent sending in French immigrants in the mirror especially, 7 isn't going to be enough.
Yeah, at the moment, French immigrants seems to be the card of choice, so raiding is kind of tough there. But I like this build from SamWise. Look what he did. He went up with the bank, he got the Pennsylvania pound, shipped 700 coin first, and that's pretty much all the coin he needs for a fast fortress. So he's playing this like it's not quite right, it seems, buying some food there. At the market, just trying to get up, but looks like there's some kind of fortress build there. And the benefit of this also is that at the church, you've got that extra XP because you've got a church, and you also have those 2 upgrades in there, the Pennsylvania first rifles and the cavalry one as well. And those will deliver you 5 skirms, 5 sharpshooters, 5 carbine cavalry, which will shadow tech up when you hit the next stage. So it's kind of a way to get lots of units very quickly. I don't know if you can sort of get both of them and maintain production from a barracks or stable, but at some point, it's a way to field a lot of veteran units very fast.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. It's definitely one of my favorite things, and it's very flexible as well, because if your opponent opens with Hussar, then by all means, you know, you've got the ability to just say, all right, we're just going to call Carbine Cavalry straight away, and you don't have to worry about it. As you mentioned, it does Shadow Tech, which means that when you hit the Fortress Age, it's going to automatically go up to Veterancy, and you know, you really don't have to worry about getting the Veteran upgrade, so you're not being punished for taking it. So definitely a wise choice. But let's take a look and check in on Ezad, see where he's up to for villager count. He's up to 41 at the moment. Have a look what he's shipped in from the home city. So he's shipped in rendering plant so far. He's also got whale oil that could be coming in.
This is so greedy.
This is
700 wood just to fuel them makes sense. Followed by this is a boom. This is a big boom.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look how many fishing boats there are. You got 4 docks.
He's got 17 fishing boats at the moment. 19 now. And
right.
We've got the first flag coming down. That's the flag of SamWise. We don't have Ezad.
That's the United States flag.
I'm not familiar. It's a beautiful flag, isn't it?
Didn't know Sam had his own flag. Yeah, no, but he's got clearly the sort of larger, massive units there, and the flag is also scaring him away.
I guess when it comes to the mechanics of this game, my suspicion is Ezad's not going to be able to deal with the 3 Gatlings, because I suspect what we're going to be seeing is we're going to see SamWise is now dropping down the 2nd barracks. He's probably going to be shipping once he ages up. I don't know whether he's going to go with the 54th Massachusetts or he just researches the veterancy upgrade himself, because he doesn't have a lot of state militia out right now. Probably not going to get a whole bunch of value out of it. But I suspect we're going to see veterancy, and we're going to see instantly, we're going to see right here in the corner, we're going to see the Gatling guns coming in. And then from there's the 3 Gatlings.
There it is.
How does Ezad deal with this?
It's definitely the stronger card at the moment. Like most United States cards are kind of like 800 in value, 700. Like they you think what you can get 8 regulars or 7 regulars, I think. Like Gatlins is just way above all of the other ones there, and I kind of like it. Like 2 organ guns always for ports felt a bit sort of disappointing. So 3 Gatling guns, like it's finally like that kind of artillery that you can kind of ship, and it actually feels good to send. Like it feels really good to send.
Yeah.
And actually, organ guns are not as good as actually better than Gatling guns. Organ guns are, Gatling guns are. They have less damage, they have less range, so it's almost like you can ship 3 of them. So yeah, but here coming in, there appears to be an outpost going up. Looks like though he's not quite got the Gatling, so isn't really able to do too much lasting damage. I think that outpost will go up, but the Gatlins have now arrived, and oh boy. Oh no, he's not protected his outpost. Nice pickup for Sam.
Yeah, the outpost is going to go down. We've also got the Gatling guns coming in behind it. Now, keep in mind, with the United States, you don't have access to colonial militia or town militia, so it means that your town center is only ever going to be doing this 90 damage, so it's not really enough to take out these Gatlings and snipe them down. So it means that he can try and take them out. It doesn't look like the town center is on them, but despite that, they're sitting at the back. They're managing to siege it down, getting some shots off. Look at that. 3 of the regulars going down there for Ezad. We've got the Minutemen, now being popped. Interjection, if you want to take us away and take over this fight.
Well, the Gatlins are just going to mow everything down. It's kind of hard to tell you what's going on. I think he needs to look at that. The town center focusing one of those Gatling guns, and that the regulars, like they're just purring on the periphery there. They don't want to commit into the fight because they know the Gatlins will get them, but they have got that 14 range. They just want to stay just out of range of the Gatlins so they can try and keep that town center up. Here comes some more regulars there. Once he gets one of those Gatlins down, I think it's time to go in. But so is that 54th Massachusetts coming in? Or who are we looking at? SamWise 12. So let's switch on over to Ezad. Surely he has a shipment coming that he can. No, not quite yet. But that Gatling goes down, and now we can see he's trying to commit to the fight there. So going to blast one of the Gatlins down, finishes it off with his TC. But still 1 Gatlin left. Here comes the veterans. He has just gotten in because of Massachusetts. And still 1 Gatling. That just trying to handle that. Like the 3 Gatling gun shipment, you think like that's 150 HP times 3. Like there's just a lot of HP, like of artillery, like on the battlefield when they arrive, and they with that range resist. What a foul cell. This is 200 times 2, so maybe it's not that much higher. But yeah, it's just a powerful shipment. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Like I think it's just good. It's hard to deal with, clearly, and that's one of the reasons you like to go Age 3 as the United States.
Yeah, that's definitely it. But even though it looks like the town center is going to be able to take this Gatling gun down, probably with maybe not the next shot, maybe the shot after it, the main issue that Ezad's going to have is he's down to 11, now 10 regulars, and yet we've just got these reinforcing batches. We've got 11 veteran state militia that are here, as well as 26 regulars on the field. It's a huge mass, and I don't think Ezad's going to really be able to hold on. The Gatling gun has finally gone down. Ezad doesn't look to be repairing his town center yet, because he can't, because he's got 2 state militia just taking it out. But now he's in a bit of a difficult spot. He's got 2 options here. The first option is to try and Turk it out, see if he can survive. He's got a whole bunch of fishing boats on the water. And the second option is to resign, because unfortunately for him, he's in a position where he doesn't think he can come back. So the first game there, going to SamWise.
Yeah, I think like that boom is just a bit slow at the moment, like, and that combined with 3 Gatlins being quite powerful, yeah, like SamWise just sort of came in with a build that like has clearly been like working, like
exactly,
cards that are strong, rather, and is able to take down this sort of ambitious. I like it though. I mean, it's clearly a showcase of what USA can do, but yeah, Gatling guns that age up, worked well.
I guess my question is, like, if I'm thinking from the perspective of Ezad, what could I potentially done there to have won that fight? And I'm thinking maybe 5 husks could have worked, but then, there was quite a big mass of regulars as well. Like, there was pushing close to 30 regulars when that push came in, and that's enough regulars that, you're not going to even touch those Gatling guns. And you got 3 that you're going to have to deal with, so I think at a bare minimum, you're going to need at least 10 hussars, and yeah, I just don't know if a build order like this is going to be able to take it over. One of the things I also found...
The other things he could have perhaps done better as well is he sort of called Minutemen into the Gatlins, but I wonder if he had sort of, when he was focusing down that one Gatling gun, once he'd sort of killed that, maybe then call the Minutemen. I mean, it's, as USA, very nice to keep calling them as soon as you can, get that recharging, but it wasn't going to recharge. You can see on the screen now, it wasn't going to recharge in time for like a second batch. So I think maybe wait and then go in all at once. That's another thing there. Maybe time a unit shipment as well. But yeah, overall, that's not what happened.
Yeah. One of the things that I've noticed going up with Rhode Island, because Rhode Island is definitely one of the rarer age ups. I think it's very situational, and when I chose Florida, I specifically chose it because I wanted to see Rhode Island. I want to see if the players would bring it out, and we did actually see it. So I'm incredibly excited to see that it got play. But one of the things I've noticed is that when you're playing as a standard like water booming civilization, you've got access to schooners in the first age. So if you're going up in transition, you can send schooners, or you can even send it as your first card. But with Rhode Island, you're going to have to wait. This card competes with age 2 cards. So that means you're competing with things like 700 wood. So one of the things I've been testing out, I've been trying the French immigrants into Bank Wagon, into 700 wood, and then eventually Slater Textile Mill after that. And putting down close to 3, maybe even 4 docks at a time, and then just booming
really
off
losing that much value either. Like you'd think, oh, I want to send that ASAP because, well, it reduces the cost of my villages. But what? Like you're going to train 3, 4, 5 villages maximum? What have you lost? Like not really that much food. Like the main benefit of that card is that it makes your fishing boats cheaper, and you can compound that by building multiple docks. So
exactly,
like, yeah, sending it later definitely sounds good.
Yeah. I think that's probably going to be something that we do eventually see worked out, but I think at the moment, sending it early when you don't really have the wood income to support 3 or 4 docks, it's probably going to be a bit more difficult. In the end, we did see 21 fishing boats coming out. Let's take a look and see. Was there any particular graph that you wanted to inspect?
Yeah, all resources gathered might be interesting. Yeah, it's not that different, is it? Like, Ezad's... Well, he is ahead. No, SamWise is ahead.
Yeah, SamWise is ahead.
He's starting to catch up towards the end, but it just seems like it doesn't open sort of too fast.
He didn't even have his factory down. He was pretty... I wouldn't say he was all in, but he was definitely going for that timing attack. But yeah, SamWise being ahead.
I guess he identified the water and thought, oh, okay, I'll delay that factory and go in a bit quicker. Yeah, no, interesting game.